In this video tutorial, you will enter information relating to the geography of the heritage place. To start, go to the card tree and click on the card Geography. You will see the map window in this card, but it will not be necessary to use it for any specific information. See instead the video tutorial geometries for more information about the map window. Instead, if we go to the geography window, we will find the first field, overall site shape type. In this field, you will enter the overall horizontal shape of the full extent of the site, as it is known. You may enter only one shape for heritage places. Click on the overall site shape type field and choose from the drop-down list. You should refer to the glossary for detailed definition of the terms that appear. In this field, you should choose the closest term to the actual shape of the heritage place, rather than how you ended up drawing it in the geometry card. For example, if in the geometry card you drew a polygon around a circular heritage place because it was too difficult to draw a perfect circle, the shape of the heritage place is circular and not polygonal. In this case, for the site we are recording, we select rectangular square shape. The following field is resource orientation. This refers to the orientation of the whole heritage place, or the complete site or feature. Click on the resource orientation field and choose from the drop-down list. Choose the orientation closest to the actual orientation of the site or feature. Remember that the orientation should be applicable to the heritage place as a whole that you are recording in this record. Orientation is particularly useful for linear features. For example, if your heritage place is a pendant with the head in the north and the tail to the south, the orientation is north-south. Or you may have a single wall as heritage place, running from west to east, and the orientation will be east-west. In this case, the orientation of our site is northwest. The following country type field is instead to record the modern country in which the site is nowadays located. If you click on the field, a drop-down list will appear with the name of the countries that are in the EAMINA database. We select Jordan and we go on to the next field. The next field is the grid ID. In this field, you will record the grid square that your heritage resource falls within. First, identify which grid square you are working in using Google Earth. So we open Google Earth, and first thing we have to find and locate the site in Google Earth. I have a KML file, double click on it, and I will go to the location of the site. Here we have our fort. This point we have to make sure that the EAMINA grid square layer is turned on. In my case, I have to turn it on. And here you can see the grid square. At this point, to know in which grid square we have just to click on the square. The grid square number can be at this point copied in the database. To do that, you go back to the database, you click on the field grid ID, and you type in the square. We select the right one. And we create a relationship between the heritage place and the right square. If your grid square is not in the drop-down list, you will have to create a new one. But please first double-check carefully that you have typed the correct grid number to ensure that it not already exists. In fact, most Yamina grid squares have already been entered. If you are sure that there is not the grid that you are looking for, then you can create a new grid square. You just have to click on Create a new grid square. Here you have to enter the grid ID in the format for example, IL35 and 24 score 12. Click Add to add the new grid square. Or in this case, we cancel because we already have found our square. In most circumstances, you should only add one grid square. There may be rare circumstances where your site overlaps over 2 or more grid squares. In that case, repeat the steps above to add other grid squares. The last field is the cadastral reference. If you have a cadastral reference, you can enter it here. If you do not have this information or if it's not relevant, leave this field blank. After you fill all the fields in the geography window, you just have to click on the Add button to save the information in this card. Your information will appear on the left below Geography. All the information within the Geography card should be applicable to the entire heritage place being recorded. Do not add additional geography card entries.